welcome back. Bethesda E3 conference, 2017. Mostly was just them jacking themselves off for the first half of it, and then a long ass video of, yo, we got all these games in the making. Well, at least I'm interested in 2 of them. Let's jump right in it. Let's jump into that so I can quickly list these fucking things off. So jump right into this one because again, Bethesda kind of did it right the first time, but at this point they're kind of just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing now. Like, I don't know what they don't do. I don't know why they don't repeat what they did back in 2015, but whatever. This one starts off with Doom and also Fallout 4 VR. Okay, VR versions of the games, which really don't seem to be all that much of a difference for those games. It's just you replaying games all over again, but in VR, or at least that's kind of how it comes across. It comes across, which kind of leads them to talk about the most stupid thing that they've probably wanted to kind of bring out for the longest while, which is paid mods in the form of a service called Creation Club. And for those out there who don't know, well, yeah, I have Fallout 4 through Steam. I even have Skyrim through Steam, and of course you need to use the thing Nexus Mod Manager, or as Fallout 4 is doing it now, you can go into this little mod pocket and just take games out, or like take things out and throw them like into your game to make it super mod and shit. That's cool. Okay, that's cool, but there's a problem with that. And for those out there who don't know, the problem with that is that, okay, those are free. This Creation Club thing kind of wants you to kind of use these Bethesda bucks, I guess, to basically purchase your mods, and then once you purchase them, you can put them in the game, and they show up instantly. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been a problem if it would have just been like a file sorting thing or to me personally, I originally thought that it was just like a filing system of saying, okay, you got all your mods here, and then you can just shuffle through them easily and quickly. You have Restore here, then you got this, like it's a brand new UI for our for our mods. But no, it's a paid service, so that's kind of what's going on there, you know. Which also kind of leads me over to the whole thing of Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game, which has been out for a year now. It is getting a small expansion pack, and I don't know if people, if they're really interested in that one, because I really haven't heard anything announced for it aside from expansion. And finally, for their little Skyrim section, or at least like their Skyrim, Fallout 4, Doom section, they finish it off by talking about what the hell was that shit? Skyrim is coming to the Switch. So yeah, 6-year game coming to Switch. Most likely will have mods. Probably won't. I don't know. But you can now play it on the go. So instead of you using your laptop, you can now use your Switch. So good luck with that. In between all of this, we have a tiny little, from what I've been hearing or from what I've read, is that this is a 1.5 story, like in between Dishonored 1 and 2. So now you play, it's a little offset, little sub-story as to what is going on, like for them to take out the black-eyed bastard. Again, I kind of haven't beaten Dishonored 2. So again, I kind of really wouldn't know too much about that. But again, this is supposed to be a split story, or at least like a little DLC expansion story. So it looks interesting. It does have the stabbies in there. So hey, good luck on that. And then they move on to talking about Quake again, which again, I kind of remember Quake being a story game. I mean, I know that is one of by far the most interesting arena shooters out there, or it kind of took it to like a completely different stage from where everyone else was. But again, this one still is, I kind of thought that it did have a story. But either way, BJ Blazkowicz is in it, so yeah, anything that got BJ Blazkowicz in it, I love it. So again, let's move on to our final 2 games, which I was actually interested in. So let's jump right into that. Evil Within 2. It's actually, I'm actually happy that this is coming out because again, this was actually one of those blow-away trailers because again, even though they kind of took all the gameplay and threw it like at the end of the trailer, at the beginning of it, it felt a little bit like what Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are doing now with all the Death Stranding stuff, where basically you have Sebastian and there's this sneaking story of basically like he's looking for his daughter and everything, and he was asking one person for help, but like this order really doesn't want him to find anything. And it kind of does the whole like craze, like hallucination stuff of the world breaking apart and him being like in his wax and everything, faces coming out of wax and shit, and he's being pulled down like into the ether, you know. Which technically, when I actually looked into this apparently is supposed to be a prequel to the first game, because again, if you played, or you know, spoilers and shit, if there's a little thing, a trophy in the first game was that as you play through the game, every single time you go into the little you go into the mental hospital, the place where you have all of your upgrades and everything. Every time you go in there, you find a missing person picture of one of the characters in the game. However, in New Game Plus, when you play through it again, you find your own. So, in other words, which technically the biggest thing that is going on in that game, or at least when you beat it, is, or I kind of thought that they were going to answer in the second game, was, hey, was Sebastian, was he still in the world and shit? I don't know, but in terms for this sequel here, it's how did he end up there? Because again, every character was kidnapped and shit, so, you know. Also, the lady over there with the tattoo on her hand, she looked a lot like Kidman. So again, I do wonder if that is Kidman or is that somebody else. Hard to say, but apparently I'm super interested in this game and I really want more of it. So, you know, let's jump right into our final game. The most interesting trailer for, I want to say, all the ones I've seen so far is the one that's done with Wolfenstein, the Colossus, or Wolfenstein 2, the Colossus. Whereas that they not only actually kind of give you a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of CG trailers, they also kind of lead in with all this like okay, what is this like with all this with all this 60s television of like people like in a happy-go-lucky town and everything. And, you know, you say, you know, sort of like looking at crazy TV shows and everything. And it's like, oh, okay, a girl's like fishing groceries, then she blows on a whistle, and the giant robot just comes and helps out the police. Or better yet, like you have a game show like Ask the Nazi or something like that. And it's a perfect lead-in because again, at first it took me a second to say, wait a second, this is Wolfenstein. You know, like, what the fuck? You know. So again, we're back in the we're back working with BJ Blazkowicz again. I don't know if he's paralyzed or not, or if he's like super wounded and shit, but apparently the beginning of this one kind of feels very similar to how the previous game started, with the whole thing of BJ kind of blowing, kind of like storming like the Wolfenstein castle and shit, and then him having to make a choice of saving somebody and shit, which seems to be the case in this one too. As basically, I believe that lady's name was Greta, the woman who tried to exterminate you like in the camp in the first game. She's now the main villain, and apparently you are fighting for the revolution of Americans. And I will be damned, is this a good ass trailer? Because again, we know who our villain is. You may say you made a choice. However, again, I do kind of wonder for BJ State, because again, he does have that suit on, like that fucking alien suit, the one that the old pilot had in the first game, the one who was crippled and shit. So now BJ has it, and it's like, wait, does this mean that when you get out of the bed in the first game, like, you're just fucked and you can't fight anymore and you need this suit to kind of do things now? Just kind of crazy. But again, I like it though. I really am happy that there's more of this game coming. The good thing about all of the Bethesda games right now is that all of them are coming out this year. So again, you don't gotta wait till 2018. You don't gotta wait all that long. So yeah, I am happy for that. So that has been Bethesda's. Let me go ahead and finish this up with the epilogue. Bethesda most likely should have just shown a goddamn they should have just shown trailers, because at this point it's like they're not doing what they did 2 years ago when they were trying to talk about Fallout 4 and Doom and everything, where basically that they did kind of give you a play-by-play for everything that they were planning. I mean, they did it the first year, but these next 2 years, it's kind of, I mean, like, this one's kind of solidified that seed that they've gotten for last year. But again, it's like, well, I understand that you have all of these games, but again, if you wanted people to kind of be interested in them and you had a half hour, or better yet, you could have made this 45 minutes. If you wanted people to kind of be interested in any of the VR stuff, show people playing the VR stuff. If you want people to be interested in the card game, show people playing the card game. I mean, the Evil Within and Wolfenstein, you can't do that because again, those are actual games and everything. But again, looking at all the stuff previous to that, it's like, you know, or instead of just showing people playing Quake on a screen, have them in front of you playing Quake. You know, like, talk more about that. You know, because we're interested in that stuff. But as it stands, it was solid for the most part of them giving us what we wanted. You know, more games, more interesting games at that, and more Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein, which are by far the two strongest things like in their conference. So I really can't complain. But until then, though, that is what I gotta say about that. Tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. I'll be back with the Microsoft conference in just a little bit. I'm out.